Your car's engine talks to you every single time you drive. Most of the time, it's just a smooth, familiar hum that tells you everything is running just right. But when something starts to go wrong deep inside, that first warning often isn't a light on your dashboard, it's a sound. Strange noises are one of the earliest, most important signs of serious engine trouble. And fortunately, a lot of drivers just ignore these unusual sounds, thinking they'll magically disappear on their own. But in reality, those noises are alarms. The longer you ignore them, the more damage they cause, and that can lead to eye-watering repair bills or even complete engine failure. In this video, we're going to break down 5 specific engine sounds you should absolutely never ignore. These sounds signal serious internal problems, and learning to recognize them early could save both your engine and your wallet. Let us dive right in with one of the most dangerous sounds an engine can make: engine knocking. Engine knocking, sometimes called pinging or detonation, sounds like a sharp, metallic tapping or rattling noise coming from deep within the engine. You'll especially notice it when you accelerate. This sound happens when the air-fuel mixture inside the cylinder ignites at the wrong moment. Instead of a smooth, controlled burn, it explodes violently, creating shock waves inside the combustion chamber. This abnormal explosion puts extreme stress on critical parts like pistons, connecting rods, and bearings. Over time, engine knocking can literally crack pistons, scar cylinder walls, and completely destroy your rod bearings. Modern engines try to protect themselves by adjusting ignition timing, but if you're hearing a persistent knock, it means something is seriously wrong. Common causes include using low-quality fuel, heavy carbon buildup, an overheating engine, incorrect ignition timing, or even a bad sensor. Ignoring this sound can quickly turn a small issue into catastrophic, engine-killing damage. Now, another sound you should never ignore is a loud ticking or tapping coming from the top of the engine. This noise is often most noticeable when the engine is idling or during a cold start, and it might get a little quieter as the engine warms up. Ticking sounds usually point to problems with your engine's valvetrain. Components like lifters, rocker arms, the camshaft, and valves all need proper oil pressure to operate quietly. When oil flow gets restricted because of a low oil level, dirty oil, or worn-out parts, these components start to clatter and make noise. In modern engines, hydraulic lifters are especially sensitive to the quality of your oil. Sludge buildup can stop the lifters from maintaining the right pressure, causing that persistent ticking. Over time, this lack of lubrication speeds up wear and can lead to bent valves, camshaft damage, or even complete failure of the valvetrain. If a ticking sound appears suddenly or starts getting louder, it's a strong sign that your engine isn't getting the lubrication it needs. Ignoring this risks severe internal damage that can dramatically shorten the life of your engine. The third engine sound that signals serious trouble is a deep knocking or pounding from the lower part of the engine. People often describe this as a heavy thudding or clunking noise that gets faster as the engine revs up. And like a light ticking, this sound is deep, heavy, and unsettling, and for a very good reason. Lower engine knocking, often called rod knock, usually points to worn-out or damaged crankshaft bearings or connecting rod bearings. These bearings are what support the rotating crankshaft, allowing it to move smoothly under immense pressure. When they wear out from a lack of oil, contaminated oil, or just too much heat, you get metal grinding against metal. This kind of damage gets worse fast. Once the bearing clearance increases, oil pressure drops, friction skyrockets, and heat builds up. If you keep driving, a connecting rod can break and literally punch a hole through the side of your engine block, completely destroying it. Lower engine knocking is one of the most serious sounds your engine can make. The moment you hear this noise, your engine is already in critical danger, and continuing to drive can turn a potentially repairable problem into a total engine replacement. Next on our list are squealing or screeching noises from the front of the engine. While these might not sound as immediately threatening as a deep knock, you should never, ever ignore them. Squealing noises often come from worn or slipping belts, a failing pulley, or accessory components like your alternator, power steering pump, or water pump. In most modern engines, a single serpentine belt drives many of these critical systems. If that belt slips or breaks, multiple systems can fail all at once. For example, a failing water pump bearing might produce a high-pitched squeal right before it completely gives out. If the water pump fails, your engine can overheat in a matter of minutes, leading to warped cylinder heads or a blown head gasket, which are both incredibly expensive repairs. Similarly, a seized pulley can shred the belt, leaving you without cooling, without your battery charging, and without power steering. What starts as a simple squeal can quickly escalate into severe engine damage if it's ignored. The fifth and final engine sound you should never ignore is a hissing or whizzing noise, especially when you accelerate. These sounds often indicate an air leak or a vacuum leak somewhere in the engine system. Modern engines rely on very precise air intake and vacuum control to run efficiently. A hissing sound might be coming from a cracked vacuum hose, a leak in the intake manifold, or a bad gasket. When unmetered air gets into the engine, it throws off the air-fuel mixture, causing poor combustion. Over time, a vacuum leak can lead to a rough idle, reduced power, worse gas mileage, and even overheating. In turbocharged engines, a whizzing sound can signal a boost leak or failing turbo seals, which can quickly ruin your turbo's performance and damage the turbocharger itself. Ignoring hissing or whizzing allows that improper combustion to continue, which puts more stress on internal parts and your emissions system. What starts as a minor leak can lead to burned valves, damaged pistons, or a fried catalytic converter down the road. What makes these engine sounds so dangerous is that they often show up long before any warning lights do. Your car's sensors might not immediately detect mechanical wear and tear, but sound is your engine's way of telling you it's in distress. By the time a check engine light finally turns on, the damage may already be severe. Modern cars are designed to be quiet, which makes any unusual noise even more significant. Any new sound, especially one that gets louder, changes with engine speed, or just appears out of nowhere, should be taken seriously. The most important thing to remember is that engines almost never fail without giving you a warning first. These sounds are your early signals. Addressing them right away allows small issues to be fixed before they turn into major, wallet-draining repairs. Of course, regular maintenance plays a huge role in preventing these sounds in the first place. Sticking to your oil change schedule, using the right type of oil, filling up with quality fuel, and getting timely inspections helps keep everything inside your engine lubricated, clean, and properly adjusted. Paying attention to how your engine sounds is just as important as watching the dashboard. So, if your engine starts making an unfamiliar noise, don't just turn up the radio and hope for the best. Listen carefully. Try to identify when the sound happens. Is it on cold starts, when you accelerate, at idle, or under load? Giving these details to a mechanic can make diagnosing the problem much faster and the repair much cheaper. Understanding these engine sounds gives you power as a car owner. It lets you act early, protect your engine, and avoid those nightmare breakdowns that could leave you stranded and facing massive repair bills. Engines are complex mechanical systems, but they always communicate when something is wrong. The key is knowing when to listen and when to act. And now you know the 5 engine sounds you should never ignore. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more tips to keep your car running great.